Okay, let's see. Sorry. All right, we're on page Shinpei. I forgot to finish this yesterday. Yesterday we didn't finish this last line. Gershheim Rabbi Huda, the Vayar Tikkun Ashvi, the Dikna, the Zer Anpen. When he finally said the seventh, when he finished, Amar Rabbi Shimon, the Rabbi Huda, Brich Ad La Atika Kadisha, you are blessed to Atika Kadisha, Eric Anpen. Let that light shine upon you. Okay, now we're going to Tikkuna Taminoah. Now we're at the eighth Tikkun. Tikkun Hashmini Shadikna the Zer Anpen. Makoma B'Sedet Tzmichas Sa'orim Kahu. Its order where it is, how the hairs grow. The Nachtem Sa'arei B'Tchos Dikna. So there's hairs that come down underneath the beard. Yordein the Ma'atach B'Tachas Makom Dikna. B'Chapien Kadlach Delo Yischaze. They cover over the neck, so there shouldn't be the back of the neck, so this should not be seen. The B'Chasim Es Hatzavor, and they cover over the neck, Shelo Yihye Nira Hagaron, so that the throat should not be seen. Kedei Shelo Yisachzoch B'Pechem Hadinim V'Chitzainim. So maybe the word that I translate here, Kadla, refers to the neck in general, because here he says that the hairs come down of the beard in order to cover over the neck. I guess it means just the neck. Kedei Shelo Yisachzoch B'Pechem Hadinim, so that the dinim can't get a hold of it. So this is the hair of the beard. So this is number 8. Maybe Rabbi Shimon Raya Shad Savar Ki Bechinas Gavuros Vadinim. And now we've seen something like this in regards to Paro, but that's in regards to the back of the neck. But here he says the neck in general, Gavuros Vadinim Ki Hayrech Lekach Zark Shetihi Had Savar Mechusach Besaros. So therefore, it's necessary to cover it. So since it's din, it will invite outside dinim to come in, worse things. We learn ein lamala lo oref, up above there is no oref, there is no what? There's no neck. She'ein lamala v'zer anpen shum dimyon oref v'garon chaz v'sholem, because what? There's nothing to be compared to the neck and the throat, God forbid. Now, what is it? She'ein lamala b'zer anpen shum dimyon. I'm not sure what he means. V'lo ipoi, also no ipoi. V'ein lamala shum ayefos. It never gets weakened. V'yegia, and struggle. Chaz v'sholem v'lechein. So therefore, lo shayach lomar she'tzarek b'chinas oref, that you have to have the concept of a neck or the back of a neck. V'garon, a neck, and throat, kadei sheyuchel lekfof rosho b'makom tircha. Now, this is a little bit hard for understand. He's saying that the beard comes down across the to cover over the neck, and we don't see that there's an inyan of a neck here. So he says, what? V'lechein lo shayach lomer shetzarach b'chinas oref, that you have to have a back of a neck or a throat or the front of the neck. Kadei sheyuchel lekfos. Why would you need that? Because what do you need? It allows you to move your head up and down. The lakofa rosh b'makom tircha, within a place where it's going to be some difficulty. Alakol inyan oref v'gorim, but when we talk about the neck or the throat, ha'amar l'mal, that we said it, but behind it, but bechinas gvuros v'dinim. So I'm still a little bit confused. So in other words, there are gavuros and dinim at this place. It's a place of squeezing, I guess. So therefore it's covered. So that they shouldn't get a hold of them. Now, I don't think if you can understand it better, please tell me. I just don't really understand it. In the one case, he says that he talks about the beard covering over the neck and the throat, so to keep the dinim off of it. But at the other hand, the language that he used, so that there he says, ein lamala lo oref, there is up above no neck, below ipui, and no weakness or struggle. So what? I don't really understand what that was about. Let's go on. Uvazimna the anach karve, but the time when war comes, the time of dispensing of gavuros, of his man shazer anpen osa milchama chimachitzanim, kadei the battle as achizasim in the order for the garon. In other words, to bang them back away from the neck and the throat. is chaze. Then az nira mizgala hagavur v'chadinim shal oraf v'chagaron dezer anpen. So maybe he was saying as an introduction to this that he says that normally it's not a concern of us. We don't think about it. It's covered with about that area. We cover it up and try to protect it. Sometimes we uncover it. It becomes uncovered, so to speak, and then it's going to war against our enemies. Of what sounds like mishum gevurta kedei, because there is a lot of gevura in the neck area. Kedei laharos koach hagevuros hakitzonim b'chitzonim, the power of them over the kitzonim, kedei lenatseach osam, in order to be able to conquer them or to beat them. So he said, "V'ruvaaz mizbatelas achizitz chitzonim," and this has the ability to be able to nullify the hold of the chitzonim. That is the revelation of the beard, of the neck. How do you do that? What happens? How does the beard is normally covering the neck and covering the dinim? Here it's removed in some way, or it's not, and therefore the dinim are that could be used to conquer the chitzonim. V'az misbatelas achizitz chitzonim. Maybe raya sheyesh koach gevura b'tzavor. Now we want to bring a raya that this actually exists in the neck. The hod tanenan. So we learn like this, and incidentally uses several different words for the word neck. Here's savor, but he used the word orif, and then the kodla. He had that word too. The hod tanenan, we learn like this. Elif almin is achdan minay, is achdian. So what is ichdachdian? Ichdach is achdain minay. So he says she'elef alamos shehem oros ne'alamim. So there's these hidden lights, bebechinas gevuros ne'achazim v'nishrashin b'tzavar, that all of these have the gevuros rooted in that neck and holding on to it. This is the meaning of this pasuk. Kamosha Kasav and Shirashirim, Kamigdal David Tzavarech Bandole the Talpios. So I know you know this word Talpios. So here I had it translated as the word model. So he says, Kamigdal David, like the Tower of David, Tzavarech will come your neck. Bandole Talpios. It's made, I don't know, the Talpios is also, Tal is a number. I'm not sure. I don't really know what it means. But anyway, it's built like Talpios. Elef hamagen talpui olav. So there's 1,000 shields that hang down from it. Kol shalte hagiburim. All of the armor of the Giburim. Now, this is something very powerful here. V'hareisha elef hamagen talui alad savor. So that phrase that you have the 1,000 shields, it sounds like, that are hanging down from the neck. The Hainu Elef Olamos V'Ataluyim Umushrashim B'Tzavor. So he's working with the number 1,000. He says there's 1,000 hidden Olamos there. The Elef Hamagen, and then there's 1,000, I guess, shields. Razaku B'Tzniusa de Sifra. Okay. Okay, I'm back here. Okay, this is a little thick area here, so we'll, I guess as thick as the neck, a thick neck. So we got to, I know where we lost you. So he said, Kol shalte ha-giburim, all of the armor of the Giburim, habe she'elef hamagen talui al-tzavor. So he says that the 1,000 shields hang on the neck. The hindach of elef alamas ataluyim mushrasha b'tzavar. So there's 1,000 worlds there. The elef amagen razahu b'tzniusa de sifra. So this concept of the 1,000 shields, this is mentioned over in the tzniusa tzniusa de sifra. V'atam she'edach alamos nekroim elef hamagen. That's interesting. There's 1,000 hamagen that are doing the defending. That's what it sounds like. Who sod hamavur b'pirush yechasoda. So this explained in the explanation of the secrets found in the Sefer Sephira Tzniusa. V'hainu ki shorish gevurus elu Hey min shem Kael Shakai, because these come from the name Kael Shakai. Now we seem like we're in another place. So what's the name Kael Shakai have to do with the Gevuros? And he's talking about the neck. So Shakai, so he says Bemilui Kazan. So if you spell it out, Aleph Lamed Daled, Aleph Lamed Fei, Lamed Mem Daled, Shin Yud Nun, Daled Lamed Tav, Yud Vav Daled, Ha'oila b'kamisbar elef ima koilel. So I counted them out. It comes out to be 999. Then you put the koilel, and it comes out to 1,000. So it has to do with the name of Shakai. So Shakai sounds like power, but also always usually refers to the meat of Yesod. V'hem nishrashim begimel shemos Kael, and there are 3 names of Kael, which are found in the Rosh. Ha'oila the misbar tzadik gimel. So 3 times Kael, 31 times 3 is 93, and he says, Shuhu Kabinyan Magain. Ve'ilu ha'elav hem l'magain min ha'kitzonim. So these 1,000 are really to protect from the kitzonim. V'ambachem shekapasuk sham, it says further, so we're defining them, we're saying that we see this in the word 1,000, comes out of the word Shakai, and then that's one way to look at it, 1,000, and then you have also the word Kael, the 3 Kaels he puts in and makes the word Magain. Kol Sholti Hagiburim, Pirish Shetzaver Talui, Kol Hameginim, from Shebet Saver, on the neck or from the neck, are hanging down all of these shields, Shel Hagiburim. The also Mistar Gevura Chad Me'inin Gevuron. What is this? V'hasodhus, what's the secret of this? Ki Elo ha'elef alamol shehem elef hamagen, which is the 1,000 that work as shields, hataluyim b'tzavar, which are hanging down from the neck, shorshem hu b'tzad Gevura, where they come from, their root is on the side of Gevura. Shel echad min Gevuras elyonos, from one of the Gevuras elyonos. So what Gevura elyonos is he talking about? V'harei mekan raya shebetzaver yesh koach Gevura. So he wants to say that one of the Gevuras from Panemius, I'm assuming he means the Gevura that's inside of the Muchstima. I really don't know what Gevuras he's talking about. Harei mekan raya shebetzaver yesh koach Gevura. So he says that's where it's come from. So therefore, when there's a war, then the neck is revealed in order to be able to beat back and to conquer the chitzonim. But when it's not in the time of war, then the savor is closed, covered up. With the hairs of this eighth tikkun, the dikna dezer anpin, kadei shelo yisachsu bechem chadinim v'chitzonim kamoshin izvoyer. So that was a little bit difficult to understand. We understand that we had this name. What was the name? Bisniusa de Sifra, that it's associated with the name Kael Shakai. So I'm not sure how that works, because I'm not sure. I know that if you put 3 Kaels together, you get a Magain. And then the Shakai, I guess, is the concept he wants to say of what? Of dinim, some kind of dinim. Okay, let's go to the Tikkun Teshiyah. So that was covering the neck or revealing the neck, I guess. And also, if you bend your neck down, or I'm not sure how you do this, you'd have to have hands to be able to remove the beard from your neck. I'm not sure how you do that. But he says that's what happens. Tikkun Teshiyah, the 9th Tikkun, the Tikkun Teshihi dedicted is there anpin. Mekomach his pashtus, his place is at the place of his pashtus sarosav kachu. So as they spread, this is how they. In other words, what does that tell you? How the 9th tikkun work? This mashkim are, so the hairs are extended. Shemis mashkim and mispashtim and spread saros chetzi ovi atachnon shalazakan. So they actually represent half of the thickness of the beard. Bishikula, but it's all under. I had to figure out. I think the other, we already had the outside of the beard. This is the inside of the beard, I think. So he says it's the ovi hatachnon shalazakan. So it's the underneath, thickness of the beard. Bishikula, it's all b'mishgal shava. They're all the same length, same size. So they're all balanced. Shekal Sa'aros Tikun the Tushihi Haim B'mida Achas are all saying measurement. Ve'ein Seir Aroch Yosim Echavero, one is not lower and longer than the next. So his Amalia V'chatikun Hazeh Hu Male B'Sa'aros Zeh Al Zeh. So there, this particular tikun, that's the underneath hairs of the beard, of the second half of the thickness of the beard, this tikkun is full of hairs, one on top of the other. But he said previously that they're all balanced out. They're the same length. So he says, moving on, he said, "Inun's are detalion for with these hairs that are hanging down, behem nim shakim yachad im sa'aras tikkun neshishi." So they go down together with the sixth tikkun, which is, I think, shehem sa'aras chetzi over chazak on the elyon. So they're the outside thickness of the beard. Hataluyim and the shtalshlim ad haschalas amayim, which begins until it goes down until the beginning of the diaphragm. Shu makom achaza, which is either look at the diaphragm side or the chaza side. And once you look at the chaza side, it stops at the chaza. Kuhu b'shikul shafir. So he said that before they're all even. So very beautifully even. V'kol eila hasa'aras bein shal chetzi ovi hazakan atachton shu tikun natishi. L'beinis aros shal chetzi over hasakan elyon shahu tikun hashishi nimshachim yachad b'mishkal yafe v'kulam shavim ba'orech echa. So all of them are equal in one length. They're all the same length. Kachad gibar the katafi marin nitzchan karvaya. So he said v'al yedei sa'aros over hasakan. So through these hairs of the thickness of the beard. Shall Shnei Tikunim Elu, so number 6 and number 9 over here. Nira Zer Anpen Kagiber Tankef, he looks like a powerful, strong man. Baal Notseach Milchamos, or a soldier who can win wars. And Mevar Lamala, Umevar Lama Sha'al Yadei Shnei Tikunim Elu Nira Zer Anpen Kagibor. What is it about these two Tikunim that makes Zer Anpen like a Gibor? V'lo ayedera tikunim acherim, and not through other tikunim. Mishum the kulchus are is mashkan basar inin detalion. The fish calls aros shar tikuni dikna nim shachim achas aros shal elu hasheni. Now, how's this work? He said because all of the rest of the hairs of the beard, and these are the last hairs of the beard, nim shachim, they all flow or extend achar has arashal elu hasheni. In other words, they're all going this direction. Tikunim teluyim mushaloshim adachazes. There's all of these hairs that are going down, ultimately going down to the chest. V'uklalacha dekuhu beinin detalion. V'klalos shall call shar tikuni dikna nechlala be'elach hashnei tikunim ataluyim the mata. So he says all of the qualities, where the word qualities, all the shar tikuni dikna are all incorporated in these. They go down below. In other words, this thick part of the beard. V'kula ismashach, v'kula nemshacha v'negrarim acharechem, and all of them follow after these. It sounds like they're flowing into them. I'm not sure. Ki kol tikuni dikna meshpiim el shnei tikunim elo. That's what he says. All of them pour into these two tikunim. So chakadimion tikuni dikna na elyon shall Eric Anpen. And this is similar compared to Eric Anpen. Shakal tikuni dikna mashbiim v'nechlala b'shnei amazlos. Because over there we said that everything comes into the two mazlos, one male, one female. Shehem saras over chazakana nimshach and the mata, which are the hairs of the thickness of the beard that continue to go on down further. So he says, Lamata became tikuni adikna, and so since the tikuni of the beard, the zer anpen, heim dinim gevuros, since they're dinim and gevuros, the vishnei tikunim elu nechlalim called tikuni adikna, and in these two, then everything else actually is incorporated in them. Nimsa shekala bechem kala gevuros, so therefore it has all of the gevuros because the beard of zer anpen is full of gevuros. V'lechein ayidei shnei hatikunim elo nira zer anpen kegibors, because of all the gevura that is found in those. That's why he looks like a mighty man. V'chador kasiv, this written on neval zechat hatikun adushihi dedikna zer anpen ember pasuk. We have this pasuk tiferes bechurim kolcham. So it means the beauty of young people. Very interesting to me is their strength. Ki zeha tikun nikra tiferes, because this tikun, it's called tiferes. Now let's go back. This is the tikun what? Which tikun? He said the tikun of the ninth tikun. I guess he calls it tiferes. So he says this tikun is actually the tiferes of zer anpin hanikra bachor, who's called a young man, or a young man, post-pubescent young man, a strong man. Because in this tikkun is incorporated all the power and all the strength shall zer anpen, v'chatam shenikra zer anpen b'shem bachor, who, why is it called, he is called bachor, the shas aras zakanu who shachor, because the hairs of his beard are black, kamo bachor, like that would be in a young man. Let me move on here. They're not white. Kamo sa'aros hazakan shall erikanpin, like for the hairs of zeranpin. Erikanpin, rather. Venira al chayam kabachor tov. So this also is Hashem appeared to the Jewish people at the Yam Suf like a bachor tov. V'chein choyinira hakodesh baruch hu liyisach b'kriyas Yam Suf, but the kriyas Yam Suf, Bezalkan Shachar, with a black beard. Kamo Bachar Tov, like a young man. Bachar Tov, a good young man. Kolomar, Bekoyach Chazak, like a powerful strength. Like all the young men, the 18, 19 years old, I guess that's what they take in the army. Behind the Kedei Lihilachim Mitzrim, in order to be able to, he appeared that way to become a fighter with the Mitzrim, but Bekoch Agodol, Lahadbiam Biamsuf, and to drown them in the ocean. V'chein Bachor Romez L'Koech Gavur. So therefore the word Bachor, which means like a strapping young man, Hadachud Dechsev, this is the meaning of this, Shekasov, it's written like this, Bachor Ka'arazim. You are a Bachor, like a chosen young man, like cedars. Gibar Avid Geburan, like a powerful man that does Gevuras. A Pirush is there Anpin, who could Gibar Oza Gevuras is like a strong man who does strong things. Arazim, like the cedars, Shehem Kashim V'Chazakim, which are hard and strong. V'Dalhu Tiferes. So this is the concept of Tiferes, which I was a little confused about this, especially because Tiferes refers to the body of Zer Anpin. And here he said that this beard, we're talking about the ninth tikkun, goes down, I think we're talking about the ninth tikkun, it goes down to the chest only. It doesn't go all the way, let me say, without getting myself, it doesn't cover the whole body, just that part of it. And that's his teferes. So this is what he wants to say. It's strength, it's power, and it's mercy. Shekalo Mikol Mikoach Gavura. So it has in Zer Anpin, he has the Gavura of the koach of this Gavura. Kadei the Natseach V'Lin Kon Besonim, in order to be able to conquer his enemies. Yachad im Rachamim, but at the same time he would have Rachamim for the Jewish people. Gamoba Kriyas Yamsuf, like for example there where he saved us. Shehoy in the Kamba V'Din B'Mitzrayim, but he destroyed the Mitzrayim. V'Chatzala Rach V'Rachamim the Yisrael, and then there was salvation and mercy for the Jews. So I had the question about the use of Tiferes, but he says that it's Tiferes, and I guess he means it in the sense not of the Sphira, he makes it in the sense of beauty. It says that, but this tikkun is the Bechor, or the beard itself is the Bechor. All right, let's go on and learn over here. Tana Lamado, Amar Rebbe Shimon, Kol Hani Tikkunim. So Rebbe Shimon wants to talk, I guess, in general. He says all of these Tikkunim, Kol Eda Tikkunim Shal Erik Anpin, Vizer Anpin, V'Kol Hani Milin, and all the words that we're using, V'Kol Shar Divrei Hasodos, all of the different secrets, Hanichlala Bechem, that are incorporated in these 9 Tikkunim. Now we're revealing this here in the Idra, like we're saying up above. The is kalu b'maskala. So he says, Ritzoni, what I want to say is the galosim, just to reveal them. So Rebbe Shimon speaking. So he said, only to people, shoklim as darkom b'mishko uvapelis. That's all leveled out, all balanced out. This is that only to people who are in a state of, I guess he means, spiritual balance. Ve'enim noitin the yamin u'l'smol b'derek hayasher. So in other words, it's the, what is his words? Let me just read what he says in the Aramaic straight. Tana Amar Rebbe Shimon, Kol Hani Tikuni, V'Kol Hani Milin, Be'enda L'Golol, L'Marecha, the Iskal B'Maskala. So he only wants to reveal it to balance people. V'lo Le'ina D'Locha Alo, but not those people that, what's Alo mean? V'lo Le'elu, Shalo Niknasu, V'lo Hurgulu, believe in Sodas of Torah. And it's not for people that are not used to listening to Sodas of the Torah. Below the alo v'nafku, below the elo sheniknasuhu v'hurgalu, believe it Sodas of Torah, and not for those who actually came in. They learned the shtickle sod, but they didn't come out healthy from the learning. So below timichus upikpukim, without different kinds of questions about it, and being pakbek, and also arguing all different things that are going on in Sod. Even we're talking here about people that get started learning about Sod, but they can't keep going on with it because they get involved in all kinds of side issues, and so therefore, even though that they're chacham tamid chachamim meyar shemayim. Ela l'alfim da'alhu v'nafaku. Ela b'Elin, I read it wrong. I don't have too much light over here. Ela Elin da'alhu v'nafaku. Ela rak le'elo sheniknasu v'hurgulu believe in Sodas Torah. Only those that come in and they make it their standard that they're going to learn Sod. V'gam yotzech b'min cholida b'shleimus, and then also they come out from their limud completely. She'im miskashi b'kushoy heim yodim the tzartza v'lishyasha. So therefore, if there's something that they hear that they don't really understand, but they do have an ability to work on it. Gam yodim the tzartza, they can find the answer v'liyashva and settle the question. Of av im enim yoda the yasha, but even if they don't, let's say they don't know how to answer the questions, the aim told them as hachisarim b'miyad hasagasim. So they're thinking, well, I really understand it because it's the limits of my brain. Can't reach that place. But they don't start arguing about it. Chas v'shalom. They don't start. He wants to say that learning Sod it's not an argumentative style like you see if you listen to people learning Talmud, for example. So he says, man. Let me go backwards. I lost the place a little bit. They call man the eichel v'lo nafik. She called me sheniknad b'limud Sodas Torah v'locha v'yatzim in the libud b'shleimas, and he doesn't come out complete. He does rather below yatsa min halimid. He doesn't leave the limud b'shleimus. He remains shalem below timichus pikpukim tav le delo ibre. So I guess I'm translating that wrong. That a person that is mepakpek in all of this and starts arguing about it, it's tov le delo ibre. It's better that he was not created. So that's like getting a little bit of it can be dangerous. So he says, Tov hoyulo shalo nivra, it's better that he wasn't created. Ki yachol levo lidei kfira chas v'sholem, because he could come to denial of what's going on with the Torah that we're learning from Rebbe Shimon. V'amar Rebbe Shimon klala the kol milan. So you want to say the general idea of all of these things. Al klal shall call divrei soda shamarnu. So the basic idea of all the secrets that we're talking about, atiket atikin is their anpin kulachat. We really want to say this, that even though that we're picking it apart, ki af shebi'ardacha be'inyan tikunim shel erik anpin ve'inyan tikunim shel zer anpin. So even though with these two are separate entities, asher yesh b'nechem kama chilukim v'hevdelim, there's lots of differentiations between them. Kugol masha yesh bediknach de erik anpin yud gimel tikunach bediknach de zer anpin rak teish tikunim. So there's ones has 13, ones have 9. Tikunim v'kiyotze bezeh, because those erik anpin hanikra atikat atikim. So here's some of his names of zer anpin heim hakol echad, but there's only a oneness between them. Ki erik anpin mislavish besoch zer anpin, he's inside of zer anpin. V'kol was called Zer Anpin, and he incorporates, in other words, I think it's all Zer Anpin is incorporated in Eric Anpin. And he says furthermore, Kul Echad. Was that right? He called Elu Hashnei Partzufim, Eric Anpin, V'zer Anpin, Shehem Echad Gamor, they're really one. Hinecha Kol Choya Kodim Brias Olam Haza. All the whole thing was before this world was created. Kula Haver V'Chakol Hem B'Hava Ata La'acher Brias Olam, and it's all going on right now too. Kula Yehei V'Chakol Yehiyeh La'asid Acher Elef Ashishis. After the 6,000 years is gone, it's going to be there too. V'Omer Odni says furthermore, Lo Yishtane, it doesn't change. Ki Partzufi Eric Anpin V'Zer Anpin, these Partzufim, Lo Yishtane Mekan B'Lahava, they're not going to change. For the part that we see here, that Eric Anpin is really manifesting or building Zer Anpin, he says even so, that they're not going to change. V'lo Nishtane V'Eine Mishtane B'Zman Hazeh, not now either. V'lo Shna, V'lo Nishtane Me'esa Tikun, and for the time that they were actually put into their order of right, left, middle, I guess, Tikkun Olam Hatzilus Ad Achshav, until now, from the very beginning of that Tikkun until now. V'Amar Odni says a little bit more. He says, Iskafan B'Tikkuni Elin, Ki Zer Anpin Nisdaken. He is built in such a way, B'Kol Eluch HaTikkunim, with these Tikkunim, Kamot Teish Tikkuni Dikna, B'Shar Tikkunim, Ishtalim Diukna Dekol Ukol Diuknin. Zer Anpin, he says like this. Zer Anpin Nizgada Rabbanishlam, he grows, he completes the parts of Shalom into a complete 10 sphere of parts of HaKolam as called the Partzufim Elyonim, and he has within him all of the Partzufim that preceded him. Ki Zer Anpin Hilbish Beselcho as called Partzufim Elyonim, because he clothes within himself all of the upper Partzufim, Diukna, the Kol Shemahim, the who parts of HaKolam as called Milui Shemus Havaya, because he has within him all of the Miluyim, all of them pour into him, which are Avsag Ma'u Ben. The Shem Malbish al Partzufim Elyonim, because he covers over the upper Partzufim. That have all of these names, they all are found inside of Zer Anpin. Yuklan is Achze Begavonoi. It is he's a Zer Anpin who parts of Shanira Pu'ulosav Bekama Gavonim. So in many different kinds of places and different kinds of ways, his actions manifest themselves. Ki hu kolu megavon lavon ve'edam, because he has within himself the color of white. He has, which is chesed. He has within him the color of red, which is din. Shehi bepechinis chesed v'din. Okay, that's it for today. That's as much what I prepared, unless you want to learn a little bit more. But I think we're out of time.
Yes.
Okay, call two. Thank you for learning. Going along.